I would say science hasn't buried God. If anything, if anything is trying to bury God, they ought to know that Jesus rose again from the dead. I live in Canada, and this issue is not a big issue in Canada. We read Dawkins and we read Hitchens. I much prefer Hitchens to Dawkins. I find Hitchens a much easier read. The stridency and the anxiety that are in those books has been widely recognised by those who are atheists. If you read the review of those books in the London Times and the New York Times, I think they are holding up a straw man of Christianity. And they are saying that Christianity has been, or faith has been responsible for any number of evils, and we would have to say that religion has been responsible for a whole mass of evils, but so has science, and so has any kind of ideologies. I would also say that Jesus came to destroy religion, and that what we're trying to proclaim is not a system, but we're trying to proclaim the person of Jesus Christ. However, if this is a big issue for people, in the end I think we would have to say that the scriptures are aiming to teach the deeper questions of the why and the who, whereas science is addressed to the how. Science is addressing the questions of what's repeatable, observable and testable, and as we know, comes out of a Christian mindset where the world is regulated and ordered because it comes from a creator God. But the scriptures, in my view, give a lot of room for moving in science, and they take us into questions that science cannot answer and are not really interested in answering. I think it's also helpful to remember that there are a number of people working in theoretical physics and in sciences who have no trouble reconciling their faith. Last week my son graduated with an honours physics degree. He worked in a lab in Ontario, which is 7,000 feet under the ground, catching neutrinos last year. He doesn't have any difficulty bringing together science and his own Christian faith. But science can help us understand some of the hows in this life. But when you ask the question, why am I who I am? What's right and wrong? How do I decide these things? This is where the revelation from God is so important.